At 5 a.m., the world is quiet. No noise, no distractions, no applause. Just you and the truth. And the truth at 5 a.m. is different. It doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't care about your excuses. It reveals who you really are. Because when that alarm hits, you have a choice. Snooze or rise. Comfort or growth. Sleep or discipline. And that decision, it defines everything. Let that sink in. Because 5 a.m. is not just a time. It's a battlefield. A silent war between who you are and who you said you would become. One side whispers, stay in bed. The other commands, get up. One side negotiates. The other executes. And nobody sees that fight. But it decides your future. This is where most people lose. Not because they're incapable, but because they're comfortable. They negotiate with weakness. They delay with excuses. They choose ease over evolution. And then they wonder why nothing changes. Read that again. Because nothing changes until your habits change. And your habits are tested at the edges. At 5 a.m. is the edge. This is where discipline is born. Not in motivation, not in hype, but in resistance. In that exact moment when your body says no and your mind says go. That's the moment that matters. That's the rep that builds you. Because discipline is not built when it's easy. It's built when it's hard, when it's cold, when it's dark, when nobody is watching. Especially when nobody is watching. That's where identity is forged. Like iron in a furnace, burning, pressured, transformed. And every morning at 5 a.m., you step into that fire. Or you walk away from it. There is no middle. You either build yourself or you betray yourself. Let that hit you. Because every time you hit snooze, you're not just delaying your day, you're weakening your standard. You're telling yourself, I don't do what I said I would do. And that message repeats, day after day, until it becomes your identity. Inconsistent, undisciplined, average. But it works the other way too. Every time you get up, every time you move when you don't feel like it, every time you win that silent battle, you reinforce a different identity. Reliable, focused, unbreakable. That's the power of 5 a.m. It's not about the hour. It's about the decision. The decision to do what's hard before the world even wakes up. Because while others are sleeping, you are building. While others are dreaming, you are executing. While others are waiting, you are advancing. Quietly, relentlessly. This is where separation begins. Not in talent, not in luck, in discipline. And discipline shows up early, before excuses have time to form, before distractions take over, before the world demands your attention. At 5 a.m., it's just you. And that's what makes it powerful, because there's nowhere to hide, no one to impress, no one to blame, just action or inaction. And over time, those choices stack, day by day, morning by morning, until one day, you look back and realize you are not the same person anymore. Not because of one big moment, but because of hundreds of small decisions, made in the dark, made in silence, made at 5 a.m. This is your advantage, your edge, your weapon, because most people will never do this. They won't wake up early. They won't push through discomfort. They won't build discipline before the day begins. And that's exactly why you must. Because average is crowded. But discipline is rare, and rare wins. So the next time that alarm hits, don't think, don't negotiate, don't hesitate. Move, because that moment, that one decision, that's where your life is being shaped. Not later, not someday, right there at 5 a.m. At some point, the alarm stops being the enemy and becomes the invitation, not to comfort, not to ease, but to become someone most people will never be. Because after a while, waking up at 5 a.m. is no longer hard. What's hard is going back to the person you used to be. Let that sink in. Because something shifts. Slowly, quietly, powerfully. You stop seeing 5 a.m. as pain and start seeing it as control. Control over your time. Control over your mind. Control over your life. And control is power. This is where the mindset evolves. You're no longer waking up because you have to. You wake up because you refuse to be average. Because average sleeps in, average waits, average reacts. But you attack the day before it even starts. That's different. That's rare. That's dangerous. Because now, you're not chasing success. You're becoming the kind of person that attracts it through discipline, through consistency, through standards that don't break. This is the part nobody talks about. The carryover. How that one decision at 5 a.m. changes everything else. You start making better choices. You train harder. You focus deeper. You waste less time because you already won the first battle of the day. And winning early builds momentum. Momentum that most people never experience because they start their day behind. You start ahead. Read that again. While they're catching up, you're already moving forward. And that gap, it grows day by day, week by week, year by year, until one day, the difference is undeniable. Not luck, not talent, discipline, built in the dark, at 5 a.m. But here's the truth. It won't always feel powerful. Some mornings will feel heavy. Some mornings will test everything you've built. The bed will feel warmer. The excuses will sound louder. The doubt will creep in. And this is where it gets real. Because anyone can wake up when they feel good. But champions? They wake up when they feel nothing. No motivation, no energy, no excitement, just commitment. That's the level. That's the standard. And once you reach that, you're no longer dependent on feelings. You're driven by identity. I am the person who shows up, no matter what. No conditions, no negotiation. That sentence alone changes your life. Because now, you don't ask if you should wake up. You already know. That decision was made long ago. Now you just execute. And execution is where power lives. Because talk is cheap. Plans are easy. But action? Action requires discipline. And discipline requires sacrifice. Sleep, comfort, ease. You give those up for something greater. Control, growth, respect. And that trade is worth everything. Because at the end of the day, you don't just want results. You want to respect the person in the mirror. You want to know, deep down, that you didn't take the easy path, that you didn't fold, that you didn't settle. And 5 a.m., that's your proof every single day. Proof that you're willing to do what others won't. Proof that you're building something real. Proof that you're not just talking about change, you're living it. So when the world finally sees your success, they won't understand it. They'll call it talent. They'll call it luck. They'll call it timing. But you'll know the truth. It started in the dark. It started in silence. It started at 5 a.m. and it never stopped. This is the mindset. Not temporary, not seasonal, permanent. A standard that follows you everywhere. Into your work, into your habits, into your decisions. Because once you master your mornings, you start mastering your life piece by piece, choice by choice, day by day, until there is no weakness left to negotiate with. Only action, only discipline, only forward. And now, there is no going back. Because you've seen what you're capable of. You've felt the control. You've built the momentum. You've earned the respect, and you refuse to lose it. Not for comfort, not for ease, not for anything. So, tomorrow, when that alarm hits, don't hesitate, don't think, don't feel, move. Because that moment, that silent decision in the dark, that's where your future is decided. Every single day, at 5 a.m. At first, it was a struggle. Every morning felt like a fight. Every alarm felt like an attack. Every step out of bed felt heavy. But now it's different. Because 5 a.m. is no longer something you do. It's who you are. Let that sink in. This is no longer about waking up early. This is about becoming someone who does not negotiate with weakness. Someone who does not delay action. Someone who does not wait for permission. Because when you own your mornings, you own your direction. And direction determines destiny. This is the final shift. You stop chasing discipline and you start living it. It becomes automatic, non-negotiable, embedded in your identity, like breathing. You don't think about it, you just do it. And that's where true power lives. Not in effort, but in consistency without resistance. Because now, there is no internal debate. No voice saying maybe later. No hesitation, no delay. Just movement, just action, just execution. And when you reach that level, you become unstoppable in ways people can't see. Because your strength is internal, quiet, controlled, relentless. You don't need motivation anymore. You don't need inspiration. You don't need someone to push you, because you've built something stronger. Self-command. The ability to give yourself an order and follow it. Immediately, without emotion, without resistance. That's rare. That's elite. Because most people can't even trust themselves. They say they'll do something, and then they don't. Over and over again, until their own word means nothing. But you rebuilt that trust, morning by morning, decision by decision, at 5 a.m. And now, your word is law, to yourself. That's power. Because now, when you say you're going to do something, it gets done, no matter what, no matter how you feel, no matter how hard it is. Because you don't break promises to yourself anymore. That version of you is gone, buried in the past, replaced by someone sharper, stronger, more disciplined. And that discipline spreads into everything. Your work becomes sharper, your focus becomes deeper, your standards become higher. Because you don't tolerate weakness anymore. Not in the morning, not anywhere. This is the ripple effect. One decision, repeated daily, becomes a complete transformation. Not overnight, but over time, relentlessly, until one day, you look at your life and it's unrecognizable. Not because of luck, not because of chance, but because of discipline, built in silence, at 5 a.m. And now, there's only one thing left, to protect it. Because it's easy to build momentum, but it's even easier to lose it. One skipped day, one excuse, one moment of weakness, and the old patterns start creeping back. That's how dangerous comfort is. It waits, it watches, it looks for an opening, and if you give it one, it takes everything back. So you stay sharp, you stay disciplined, you stay committed. Not because it's easy, but because you know what's at stake. Your identity, your progress, your future. Because once you've built this version of yourself, you don't go back, you don't downgrade, you don't settle, you move forward, only forward. Because now you've seen the truth. That success is not a moment. It's a lifestyle, built through habits, through discipline, through decisions made when nobody is watching. And it all starts at 5 a.m. So this is your final challenge. Not to wake up early once, not to try it for a week, but to commit, fully, relentlessly, without excuses. Because this is not about time. This is about identity. Who are you? When the alarm goes off, that answer will define everything. And from this moment forward, you don't hesitate. You don't negotiate. You don't go back. You rise every single day at 5 a.m., no matter what.